Hi, everybody. This is the demo video on how to use the program Canva for your About Me poster. I just want to review what instructional materials you have in your assignment. There's the project instructions. Please make sure you read through that. These are a good kind of way to prepare yourself for an About Me poster. You don't need to include everything that's in the instructions, but I would suggest making a list of what you definitely want to include so that way you can kind of go through. Otherwise, it can be a bit overwhelming. After you go through and read the instructions, you can actually find Canva's link on the assignment sheet, or you can just type it in, but it's www.canva.com. You want to make sure you're already logged in to your school account. If you've never used Canva before, you'll either need to sign in or log in, and you're going to want to use the Google login for school. Once you're in there, you're ready to start. So the first thing you need to do is create your blank page. So you're going to go to Create Design and Poster. This is basically like if you were making a collage in class, your blank piece to start from. So I'm going to go over some of the tools. There's a lot to use. I recommend maybe just starting one and just playing around for a good 5-10 minutes before you actually start your project for the About Me poster. That way you're not getting really frustrated and can kind of experiment a little bit. So up here at the top in this blue section is really all the kind of before or after things to do, like how we're going to save it. If you want to upgrade to the Canva Pro, you can. It's a free trial, but you will have to put in a credit card number. You're not required to do that. Otherwise, this is the main area you're going to use for your poster. So templates are really if you're wanting to make something generic, that's going to set it up for you. You guys will not be using the templates. So I'm going to go down these first to explain. Uploads are where you're able to put in photos of yourself. You can actually load them from your Google Drive. So you can click on upload an image. Since you're not in school and the Wi-Fi won't block, you can upload from Facebook or Instagram, and it'll put them on here so you're able to add them into your poster. So I can click a picture and manipulate it. Okay. So on each of these tools, once you add something with it, then you get these options in this white bar here for everything you add. So you can add effects to the picture, filters, you can adjust it, you can crop them. You can also flip the image if you want to flip it horizontally or vertically, and you can do these edits for anything that gives you these options. So I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Position will come into play in a little bit. That's like going from back to front. Okay, once we work with collage in class, once you glue something, it's stuck. On Canva, you can kind of reposition the order, which is really nice. This is your transparency, so how much you want to be able to see through something. You can play with that. Link, you will never use really for this assignment. Lock is to make something no longer be able to move, but you can unlock. And then duplicate, so you can click and duplicate whatever it is that you're wanting to reproduce. And that's everything for the photos. So then uploads are pictures from your own library. Photos are photos from Canva, and there are a lot of these. I wouldn't recommend just scrolling through and waiting to find something you want. Use this search bar to your advantage. So let's say you play sports. Maybe you want to search the actual sport. So maybe you play football and you want to find an image for football. Maybe you really like the summertime. So like think of a way that you could use symbolism to show that. You could also just type summer and see what comes up. And you could go more specific and do like sun. Changing a little bit, like sunshine might give you something different. So experiment with what you're searching for. Then the only thing to point out is anything that has this crown or says pro, you will not be able to use, and they're kind of mixed up. So you'll have to just kind of keep searching, but there are a lot of options that do not require you to upgrade. So just keep looking around. Same thing when you add these, they pop right in. You can shrink it, you can make it bigger, and you'll see you get all of the same edits you do for a photo you bring to Canva from your own life. The next thing is elements. This is kind of more like stickers, but there's even some things that aren't so cartoonish that you can use. So again, I really recommend searching here. If you want to do something with some hearts, there's lots of options. Okay. Before you do the searching though, there are categories in Canva. So like they have basic shapes you can use, lines, frames. Some of these stickers look really childish, but some of them are pretty neat. So again, take some time to look around for what you're wanting to add. If you want to see everything, click see all and it'll bring you here. But instead of taking the time searching, again, this search bar is going to be your best friend. So let's say I want to do something for like working out. Let's put fitness. And it's going to do a pretty good search of every sticker instead of you having to take the time to search for yourself. What's nice about the stickers is it actually gives you some editing options that I think a lot of other programs wouldn't. Once you have the sticker on, not only can you change the size and rotate, you can also change the color of a lot of them. So you can come over here and you can actually make it different. Why this one's only changing the head, I can't tell you. But there are many stickers that will allow you to change the full color depending on what it is that you're adding. So like, let me go back to the hearts for now. And I'll show you. You can add this in and choose any color that looks good with what you're doing. A color scheme is going to be important to think about in your design. The other thing I want to show you right now while I have it is the positioning. Okay, so like let's say I want these to come across the whole page and I'm going to put pictures of things I love over top. I don't want my son to be covered by the hearts. So I can either move the hearts backwards or I can move him forward. And so depending on what I'm clicked on, we'll decide which way you need to move it. So again, these are the edits or options for this sticker. And the positioning one is the one that you can use to move things back and forth. So I'm going to click backwards and now you'll see it's behind. The next thing is text. These three settings right here are just to give you kind of a quicker way to start. So if you start with something that's large and type, it's already kind of making it a standard size, but you can stretch it. You could decide, oh no, actually I wanted that really small. So these three do the exact same thing and you still have the same edits. Kind of like in a Google Doc, you have your fonts, lots and lots of fonts on here. Again, any with the crown will not work. You can change your size manually, but I've found that I prefer to just change it by stretching, and you'll see the number changing up at the top. But I think visually is easier than just guessing and checking your numbers. You also can change the color. Some fonts will allow you to do other things. Some of them just don't. You can change your orientation. So if you're adding like your favorite song lyrics, hello, have a good day. That's not a song lyric, but I need to show you how this works. You can change your orientation of your text. You can also add some effects to them, which are fun, and you can still change the position just like you could with something else. When you're moving things, it can get a little frustrating. Sometimes I need to make it bigger so I can select outside of whatever it was trying to select, but just be patient with yourself. The more you play with it, the better you're going to get. So again, I'm just making some nonsense here to show you, but you can see now I have 3 layers of movement. So if I want this behind the hearts, I got to move it back again. If you have a ton of stuff going on and you're like, oh crap, I want that in front of everything, instead of clicking move forward, move forward, move forward, you can actually choose move to front. But right now it knows it only has one way to move. So it's not giving me that option. These are some kind of custom pre-made font styles. When you click on them, they're going to put it on exactly as you see it, but you still have editing options in those as well. So you can still change the font, you can still change the color, and you can still change some of the other edits that you have in regular text as well. If anything you add you hate, you can click on it here and then you go delete. That's not going to delete your whole project. This is talking about it because it's a group, but I don't want it there. So I'm going to delete it. Next is videos. We won't be using those for this because we're making just a poster. Background is if you want to start with a solid background. Well, really, they're not solid. They're pictures. You can check through these and kind of decide like, oh, maybe you really like nature, so you want your whole background to be clouds. Because it's knowing it's a background, Canva will put it there. but let's say you want a solid color. I'll show you how to do that as well. If you ever make a mistake that you can't adjust easily, you still have your undo button up here, which is really convenient to just go back if you do something you don't like. But at any point, if you click in this white space, that's your paper, you can change that color as well to something solid if you like it that way, okay? Folders, I would not use. I've never had to use that. Just kind of ignore it. So what I want you guys to do is play around with this. If you have any questions, I'll be available in the lives for the next couple days to answer your questions. We can also Google Meet one-on-one and you could present your screen so I can answer specific questions. But the best way to learn anything in art is to experiment. So play around with it. I expect you to put in a lot of effort. There's more explanation in the assignment sheet, but I'm expecting at least a half hour to an hour of time. I spent at least that on mine, and it'll show. So give yourself a break if you're getting overwhelmed. It will automatically save it in Canva as long as you are logged in, and you can see all of your designs. So feel free to play around and do things for yourself. This is my final design here. And I will show you a couple others that have been made to kind of show that the options are endless. So don't compare yours to your friends. As long as you're sharing information about yourself with me, then you're following the directions. In the next video, I'll show how to save it. And that way it's separate. Good luck. Can't wait to see what you make.